Hello and welcome to a broadcasting studio at Vietnam Television in Hanoi. I'm Michael Liu and here's the top news for this hour. Vietnamese and Chinese enterprises gather, boosting bilateral cooperation in economics, trade and investment. Local and foreign experts talked on FDI situation in the first 6 months of this year. Vietnamese masterpieces of art return, giving home patrons a chance to admire them. More in just a moment. Now, first off, State President Trương Sang received Lao Prime Minister Thongsin Thamavong on Saturday in Hanoi. At the reception, President Sang affirmed that Vietnam is always willing to assist and cooperate with Laos in socio-economic development and human resource training. He noted that both Vietnam and Laos are organising party congresses at all levels this year, working towards the National Party Congress. President Sang suggested the two sides regularly exchange experience to ensure the success of these important events. The President also vows that Vietnam is ready to support and share knowledge with Laos to help facilitate the country's role of ASEAN chair next year. The Lao Prime Minister said he was impressed with the rapid growth in Vietnam's border localities. He stated that Laos has learned a lot from Vietnam's experiences in poverty reduction. Lao Prime Minister Thongsin Thamavong wrapped up his 5-day visit to Vietnam on Saturday. Chinese Vice Premier Zhongli on Saturday afternoon also wrapped up his visit to Vietnam from July the 16th to the 18th. Before leaving Hanoi, Chinese Vice Premier Zhongli attended a get-together between Vietnamese and Chinese enterprises in Hanoi on Saturday. Co-chairing the event, Deputy Prime Minister Vinton and Chinese Vice Premier Zhongli agreed on the need to further promote bilateral relations in economy, trade and investment. Chinese Vice Premier Zhongli welcomes more and more Vietnamese enterprises to invest in China, promising to provide more favourable conditions for foreign investors. At the event, representatives from the China Ministry of Commerce announced that China's investment in Vietnam has surpassed the target of $8 billion. Vietnam and China have set a new target of $100 billion for two-way trade turnover by 2017. Also, in the framework of Chinese Vice Premier Zhongli's visit to Vietnam, a ceremony was organised in Hanoi on Saturday to announce inauguration of the Vinton thermal power project in Vinton, Southern Province. The event was attended by high-ranking officials from the two countries.
The Vinton thermal power plant will be built in Vinton Commune, located in the Tuy Phong district of Bình Thuận, Southern Province. The project, developed using the Build, Operate, Transfer or BOT model, has a capacity of 1,200 megawatts and a total investment capital of more than $1.7 billion. China's Southern Power Grid Company, China International Power Company, and Vietnam National Coal Mineral Industries Corporation are the project's investors. The plant is scheduled to be constructed within 4 years.
The Vinton project plays an important role in providing power for the southern provinces. We need to fast forward the progress of the project in order to meet the power demand of the region for socio-economic development. Vinton Power Project will create jobs for many people, help boost the economic development of the province, and improve the living standard. This is a positive result of the cooperation between Vietnam and China.
After the announcement ceremony, Vietnam's Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc and China's Vice Premier Zhongli had a meeting with parties involved in the project. The two leaders expressed their hope that this project would help boost cooperation between Vietnam and China in the power sector.
The Vietnam Expressway Corporation held a groundbreaking ceremony in Ho Chi Minh City on Saturday for the construction package J3 of the Binh Luc Long Thanh Expressway project. The package, sponsored by JICA, includes Phước Khánh Bridge and the overpass linking Cần Giờ district in Ho Chi Minh City to Nhân Trạch district in Đồng Nai. The construction package is executed by Japan's Sumitomo Mitsui Construction co-joint venture and Vietnam's Civil Engineering Construction Corporation No. 4, or Sinco 4, with a total investment of $162 million from both sides. Once completed, the Binh Luc Long Thanh Highway project will connect Long An Province, Ho Chi Minh City and Dong Nai Province. The entire project is expected to be completed and put into use by the end of 2019. Newly registered additional FDI totaled $5.5 billion during the first 6 months of this year. According to the Ministry of Planning and Investment, the figure is equal to only 80.2% of the total FDI of the same period last year. Compared to recent years, new capital commitments in the last 6 months are at the lowest in 4 years. This is what local and foreign experts have to say about the matter.
The 20% decrease in registered FDI in the first 6 months of this year brought many misgivings about the possibility of declining capital flows in the near future. According to the Foreign Investment Agency, the absence of large-scale projects and the tendency to wait for the investment law and enterprise law to take effect are the main causes of this problem.
We do have new policies. However, this is a transitional period between the enactment of the old law and the new law, so people opt to start investing after the new law takes effect.
Before, Vietnam had abundant labor but lacked capital, and previous FDI projects had solved these problems. However, according to experts, Vietnam needs more high-tech and high-quality projects. Therefore, it seems the filter is on for Vietnam's FDI capital. Some localities are also rejecting low-tech FDI projects.
We have to do something to increase the effectiveness and quality of foreign investment so that it will actively contribute to the development of technology and human resources, creating high added value and allowing Vietnamese enterprises to participate in the supply chain.
On the other hand, the abrupt slowdown of FDI flows also shows that investors are now more cautious when deciding which countries to invest in.
U.S. companies are excited about the opportunities in Vietnam. They want to invest in Vietnam. It's just an issue of how can we make the business climate as welcoming as possible so that people feel that this is a safe place.
This year is a year of integration for Vietnam with the signing of a series of important FTAs. This is also a period of turning point for attracting FDI. This is both an opportunity and a pressure for Vietnam to reform business investment environment to welcome more foreign investors in the time to come.
Bana ethnic people in the mountainous district of Dong Xuan in Phu Yên Central Province have suffered a water shortage in the past few months. Now they no longer have to walk a long way to bring water home, thanks to several water supply projects developed with private investments. This is seen as a solution to provide fresh water for the locals alongside state-funded water supply projects.
Each household in the area now has one water tap, providing them with water every day. This is a new luxury in Phu Hai Commune, one of the poorest areas in Phu Yên Province. The water taps were installed about 10 days ago. All of the locals, young and old, are excited about the taps.
Our family has water to drink and to wash clothes. It's really good.
This area has experienced severe drought over the past months. As there has been very little in the wells, the locals have had to walk 5 to 7 kilometers just to fetch water. Now 56 households in the commune can stay at home and still have fresh water to use. The change is thanks to private financial support to construct 2,500 meters of water tubes. Understanding the difficulties of water shortage, the local helped install the tubes in the common.
The enterprise provided us with cement and plastic tubes. The villagers gave them manual labor.
In order to ensure clean water for all residents, Phú Province needs about $41 million. The state budget has not met this demand. Therefore, privatization is one solution.
The Province People's Committee decided to create more favorable conditions to help organizations and individuals access preferential loans to construct water supply systems.
In order to attract private investments for water supply system, there should be appropriate mechanisms. In addition, the local authorities also need to call for manual labor from residents to help construct those systems.
Still to come on VTV News, the 1,000-year-old Pamu or Fujian cypress in Guangnan Province will become a national heritage site. Vietnam masterpieces of art return, giving home patrons a chance to admire them. Stay tuned for more stories are still to come right after the break.
Exotic Vietnam is an intriguing blend of many charms. This land is where all manner of stunning landscapes await like a visual feast, rivaled only by the beauty of its people and their abundantly rich tradition and culture. Here is where you can relive the past in richest color or live it up in the bright lights of the big city. With so much more to offer, Vietnam is simply unforgettable.
Welcome back to VTV News. Now, a dialogue about issues facing overseas Vietnamese workers was held on Saturday morning in Hanoi. The event saw the participation of agencies under the Ministry of Labour, Invalid and Social Affairs and 100 labour export companies. Participants discussed issues that were said to cause instability in this market, including labourers overstaying their visas, soaring broker fees, high competition and insufficient training. The ministry directed the Department of Overseas Labour to improve and synchronise training programmes for overseas workers in each country, as well as tighten measures to prosecute violations. They also stressed that when firms export Vietnamese labourers to Taiwan, they need to pay more attention to protecting their rights. The ministry will continue to work with foreign affairs agencies to target new markets for Vietnamese workers. The 1,000-year-old Pamu or Fujian cypress forest was discovered in the south-central coastal region of Guangnan. Its heritage was received much attention after being introduced to the world 8 months ago. The following report takes you to Taizang district in Guangnan province to find out more about the effort to make this forest a national heritage site.
Taizang district authorities believe that acquiring heritage status for the Pamu forest is the best way to preserve its 1,000-year-old legacy. They even brought a team from the Vietnam Association for Conservation of Nature and Environment to examine and confirm the forest value.
I think the forest is a national heritage, not just a valuable asset for the region. Visitors come here not just to study and research, but also to feel proud of our people. The Cơ Tu people have lived in difficult economic conditions, but they have preserved the forest for generations. They are true heroes.
Each of these 2,000 trees in the forest is worth up to $45,000. A forest ranger force has been established to protect the trees and implement tourism services.
The forest has huge potential for exploration and ecotourism, because these trees cannot be found anywhere else. But in order to develop the environment sustainably, we have to consider the livelihood of locals.
rất là quý của Việt Nam còn tồn tại.
Along with the conservation program, Taizang is filling applications to make the forest a national heritage site.
Locals are very happy to receive care from the government and the public after years of preserving the forest. Taizang district will continue to call for investment for further development.
With the local people's awareness and efforts in Taizang, this valuable forest will continue to grow and become a symbol of Quảng Nam.
As part of Vietnamese Film Week in the United States, director Lưu Trọng Ning's Khát vọng Thăng Long, or Thăng Long Aspiration, was screened in New York City. The movie garnered much attention from overseas Vietnamese as well as Vietnamese cultural experts in New York. During the week, 6 Vietnamese films were screened, including A Blind Night, Thăng Long Aspiration, The Children of the Village, Scandal, Scandal 2 and Jackpot. The event aimed to mark the 20th anniversary of the normalization of relations between the US and Vietnam. This was a chance to promote Vietnam's film, culture and tourism to people in the United States and for filmmakers to exchange experience and seek partnership in the future. The International Fingerstyle Guitar Festival was held for the first time in Vietnam at the Youth Theatre on Friday. Fingerstyle guitar is the newest genre of solo guitar music in Vietnam. An entire band is replaced by only one performer. This festival attracted 6 famous guitarists from all around the world.
This is Sunflower, performed by Chinese guitarist Patty Sun. Sunflower has become a hit in Asia since 2009. Through the song, many youngsters have discovered this new guitar genre, fingerstyle, which is becoming popular around the world. The International Fingerstyle Guitar Festival has been an annual event since 2010. This year, the festival is organized during July in South Korea, China, Taiwan, Vietnam and Malaysia.
In the festival this year, I have the chance to perform with famous guitarists from other countries. I feel very happy and learn a lot from them.
In Vietnam, this is the first time an international fingerstyle guitar festival has been held.
Vietnamese audiences can enjoy the colorful performances of the fingerstyle genre. This festival is a chance for guitarists to exchange techniques and skills.
The festival attracted 6 guitarists: Quang Chiu Wei from Taiwan, Patty Sun from mainland China, Ang Ding Yu from Malaysia, Masa Sumide from Japan, Augustin Amigo from Spain, and Jacques Stotsam from Belgium.
So I was very excited to hear there was a concert tonight in Hanoi with 6 international guitarists.
All the guitarists today are famous around the world. Each of them has their own style.
The concert has attracted hundreds of audiences, especially guitar lovers in Hanoi. After Vietnam, the International Fingerstyle Guitar Festival will head towards Malaysia on July the 19th. Diệu Anh for VTV International, Hanoi.
Having been stored overseas for several years, works by some of the most famous Vietnamese painters, such as Vinton and Bùi Xuân Phái, have recently been exhibited in Hanoi. The existence of these paintings was almost unknown, as they were taken abroad right after being completed. For the first time, Vietnamese art lovers had the chance to admire these pieces.
Several years ago, painter Thanh had the chance to befriend her famous predecessors, Bùi Xuân Phái, Nguyễn Tư Nghiêm and Văn Cao. She was presented with their work as gifts. Thanh then moved abroad for many years, taking the paintings along with her. Today, upon her return, Thanh brought some of them back to introduce to the Vietnamese public.
Normally, important work by Vietnam's art fathers would have been reserved at national museums in foreign countries. Once brought overseas, it would be difficult for the people to behold face to face, so I am determined to hold this exhibition. These masterpieces are often sought after by collectors. Many of them were taken abroad. Meanwhile, museums have too few works on display by Vietnam's master painters.
It is such a large disadvantage for the public to not able to enjoy the works of famous painters, as there are very few of their pieces left in the country. In the National Museum, just a handful of the outstanding works are preserved. The remaining belong to private collections.
Taking these masterpieces to foreign countries exposes the world to Vietnamese art. However, it is also a loss for art lovers at home.
We hope that the art treasures of famous Vietnamese painters will be widespread throughout the public, especially among the young generations of artists. I think that it is urgent now to gather works that have been lost in past decades.
According to experts, it will be much harder for Vietnamese art collectors to purchase these paintings from foreign countries due to higher prices. Moreover, not every collector is willing to lend or return the works to their homeland.
Now's the time to look back on the highlights of this week's news.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng met with a high-level Chinese party delegation led by Politburo Standing Committee member and Vice Premier Zhongli on Friday. Party Chief Nguyễn Phú Trọng said the Communist Party of Vietnam, state and people always attach importance to developing the comprehensive strategic cooperative ties between the two countries. He stressed that the two sides should deal with existing issues in the interest of regional peace, stability and collaboration. Vice Premier Zhongli affirmed the Chinese side placed special importance on the traditional amity and all-faceted cooperation with Vietnam, noting that China is willing to work with Vietnam towards the fundamental and long-term benefits of the two peoples. Vice Premier Zhongli also met with State President Trương Tấn Sang and Prime Minister Vinton during his visit.
Prime Minister Vinton held a working session with Laos Prime Minister Thongsin Thamavong during his 5-day visit in Vietnam on Friday. During the meeting, the leaders stressed the importance to cooperate in implementing the bilateral agreements between the two politburos and governments in 2015. The two sides will continue to take full advantages of the recently signed trade agreement and border agreement, aiming to promote the two-way trade up to $2 billion in 2015. In regards to military, public security and border issues, the Prime Minister suggested the two countries work in coping with terrorism, drug trafficking and security across borders. Both leaders also agree upon global issues such as maritime security to maintain stability in the region. Prime Minister Thongsin Thamavong was also welcomed by Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng and National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng also on the same day.
The State President's Office released 13 new laws, resolutions and ordinances approved by the National Assembly on Friday. These new regulations are related to the laws on organization of government and local authorities, laws on national auditing and budgeting, and some other laws on social affairs. Most noticeable changes include the required age for national military service to range from 18 to 27. People currently under custody, undergoing supervised education and medical rehabilitation institution are granted the right to vote for National Assembly deputies and People Council representative at provincial level. The new laws, resolutions and ordinances will come into effect from July the 1st next year at the earliest.
Vietnam finished 5th out of 104 delegations at the 56th International Mathematical Olympiad that finished on Thursday. The Vietnamese team won 2 gold, 3 silver, and 1 bronze medals. The 2 gold medals went to Vu Xuân Trung, an 11th grader from Tai Binh High School, and Nguyễn Thế Hoan, a 12th grade student from the High School for Gifted Students at Hanoi National University. The Vietnamese delegation won 3 gold and 2 silver medals at the 2015 International Physics Olympiad in India. This is the best result a Vietnamese team has had in recent years at annual international Olympiads for high school students.
Vietnam made a strong showing on the top 10 list of travel and leisure's readers' favorite cities in Asia, with Hanoi claiming 7th and Ho Chi Minh City 9th. In an article about Vietnam's tourism, the magazine said that if Ho Chi Minh City is a nation's wild heart, then Hanoi is its calm, cool and colorful soul. Japan's Kyoto topped the list, while Siem Reap in Cambodia and Bangkok in Thailand also made the top 10. Travel and Leisure conducted this year's survey between November 2014 and March 2015, over 17,000 readers. Its world top cities rankings have been conducted since 1996.
Now let's check out the latest weather update of selected cities around the world. That's it for our newscast. Simply log on to vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4go. Goodbye for now and stay tuned for our next bulletin of the day.